What's up, everyone, and welcome to JMD. This is the first day of full time here on the channel, and what I wanted to do first, and I'm doing this for all of the channels, so for ClearTalk, for JMDPLAY, for the puzzling channel, is kind of reintroduce myself and reintroduce the channel, so that people that might be new to the channel uh or whatever. It's been a while since you've come, you're coming back to the channel. It's been a while since you really engaged with it much. I'm reintroducing myself to kind of give you a clear understanding of where the channel is at the moment, where I plan on going with it, and all that good stuff. Just like I said, reintroducing myself. For JMD here, I am JMD. Hello, welcome. That's JMD stands for my name, drummer. So Jason Martin Drummer. That's what that stands for. So that's my name. Welcome here. I am. I've been playing. Well, I guess you could say, like, full on playing drums for roughly about 15 years, a little bit more, maybe 16, 17 years. I first started, this is not the original set. The set that I've originally is right beside me here. It's stacked up in the corner. My second wife, like, before we actually got married enough, she bought me a set. I had always wanted to play drums, and I grew up playing, music was always a part of my life. I grew up playing, like, trying to play piano. That didn't completely work out. I mean, I can pick around on one, but that's about it. Trying to also learn guitar there again, didn't really learn it. I can pick around on one, but that's about it. I did actually do trumpet in school, and for a few years, I was pretty good at that. That's where I really picked up on learning how. I mean, I had already learned how to read music to a degree with the piano. My father taught me, was trying to teach me that. He plays piano. He also plays guitar and bass and stuff now as well. The music was always a part of my life, though. Growing up, it was constantly there. Mostly like classic rock and stuff like that. But I had influence and interactions with multiple genres of music throughout my childhood. And but drumming was always like that thing that I was interested in, but never completely had access to. But I was always, like, banging and stuff on everything. It aggravated the hell out of my mom. She banging on walls, banging, like, tapping my fingers or whatever the case, on counters, on chairs, on whatever. And so that was it. And in my room, I would oftentimes listen to music, and I would be like pretending that I had a like a drum set in front of me or whatever, and I was air drumming, trying to play, act like I was playing the parts of whatever I was hearing in the music, things like that. Um, I even quickly, I guess I could tell that back when I was, like, as early as even 3 years old, 3 and 4, staying with my grandmother while my parents were at work or whatever, I would oftentimes, I remember, even vividly remember, I would pull out pots and pans from the counters, buckets and stuff from the closet, like sand buckets and things like that. And when I would have them stacked, in front of me on the carpet with pencils in my hand, and I would be, banging on them like drums. And I even pretty remember that it wasn't that I was just banging away like a madman or something. I was actually listening to the different sounds and trying to play through them, even at that early of an age. It was just something that just always was there in me. I felt, but I never really had access to it, not in any major way, until I was way older. I was able to play on a couple of sets in my late teens, like around 16, 17, something like that. But that was just a few times and nothing too crazy or major. But it did, I guess, give me an initial like access or whatever to seeing what it was like to be behind an actual set. But I didn't actually get my real set until, like I said, my previous ex-wife bought it for me. It was a Pearl Forum series. It's a basic, regular, the kind of beginner drum set. She bought it for Christmas, and that pretty much stoked it in me, and I was nonstop from there. Adding to it constantly, adding a couple of cymbals here, getting the double pedals, things like that, just trying to really learn and push myself. And to a certain degree, I've even played in the church for a little while, and with that set. And then eventually I got to the point where I was like, it felt like it was holding me back or something. It's kind of the idea in early drumming. You think that you're like something like you want more, and you think it's because the set is not big enough, or you don't have enough drums, or you don't have enough sounds to play with, or whatever the case. Enough cymbals to hit. So I bought this kit. I found it from like a set of like some grandparents, I think it was, in like Texas, and it was like their grandsons or something set. He had went to college, left it there at the house, and he said he wasn't going to use it anymore, whatever, and so they were trying to sell it. I bought it from them. Of course, most of this is the original that I bought. I mean, the cymbals are not. The cymbals are all, I think, different from the original set, but all the drums actually are. And but I've been added to them and changed things around, played around with setups and whatnot over the years. But all of that stoked in me starting this channel. I was a huge fan of like big ones like Casey Cooper, and I even had come across like Cobus and stuff like that early on, and they had such successful sets. There was another a female drummer that I really liked. Her name was Mora or Mari or something like that. But she always did like Tool covers and stuff. She hasn't been on YouTube in years, unfortunately, but not sure where she went. But all those they had such successful channels, or seemingly it's successful channels, especially Corey Cooper. And I thought, I would like to try to do that a little bit. So I started this channel. This was, like I said, back then, years ago. This is the oldest channel. And little by little, I've done, covers and stuff. I was pretty hard on it at first. It grew a little bit there. But then I got very inconsistent with the channel due to just time constraints, or like life work, which has been a constant problem with me trying to be consistent on this channel along with the newer channels. And so that's what I've pretty much, this channel was for me to do drum channels. I wanted it to be, I wanted to be the big, become like, a well-known YouTube drummer, whatever the case. And it has, not particularly panned out that well for me, unfortunately, over the years, because, like I said, inconsistency and stuff, and I know that that's a lot on me. But it got to a point where I was like, it's fine. I won't worry that much about trying to be big or anything. I just enjoy doing the content. I enjoyed, doing the covers. It pushed me to become better as a drummer and learn more and more, or as much as I could, giving me that motivation. And so that's what I continue to do. For quite a while now. When I do covers and stuff, it's been just because I wanted to do it, for fun, to put something out, let you see it, get feedback, let me know, how I'm doing, or whatever the case, or how I did. But that's pretty much what this channel has been. About a year ago, I decided to start expanding it a little bit more, since like reactions and stuff have become a big part of YouTube now. It is kind of unfortunate to some degree that that's the case. I mean, but it also helps get music out there, and I like that part of it, you know. So I decided, you know, I'm going to try to dabble that, since I couldn't stay completely consistent with drum covers. I thought that I could be a little bit more consistent with doing reactions and then just feeding some covers in here and there, which is what I was trying to do. And I will continue to do here, just in a more consistent manner. I know I haven't been completely consistent here the past few months, and that's because I've been trying to just give myself some time to get to this point, and to leave, I guess, some content there for me to have a good start to going, once I did get to this point of going full time. And I apologize that I have been a little spotty over the past couple months on that, but that's my intent going forward with this channel, is to continue with the reactions and stuff, finding new music along the way, and getting your reaction from it as well, you know, or you getting to see my reaction to stuff that you might enjoy and love. I do the same thing with a lot of bands that I enjoy and love. I like watching other people's reactions, so I get the fad and stuff like that. And then, of course, also getting more into doing the drum covers, and getting back to that, trying to be more consistent on that, and actually seeing where, you know, where this channel, along with the other channels, can do if I'm actually doing it full time, because I've never been able to do that, because of my job and stuff like that. So now that I am away from that, and that's the intent here, is to grow this channel along with the other channels, and in its, you know, their each respective content, and hopefully, like I said, entertain you, and have your interest and support, and even maybe get feedback from you, or ideas from you for other types of content that I might could do that would be related to this channel, in some kind of form, musically or whatever. So then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much me. I'm JMD, again, and the set here, I guess I could, if you want me, we can, the set back behind me is a Pearl, what is it? I can't even remember. Oh yeah, the EX set. And it's in black. I have red batters on all of it. The cymbals are all Zildjian, so it's basically Pearl Zildjian cymbals, Gibraltar cage, and all the hardware for holding all the cymbals is Gibraltar. I have trick pedals, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's I thoroughly, have always liked this set. I use Firth. Well, it doesn't really matter completely, but I most of the time use Firth drumsticks. But yeah, I that's been my set. It's been one I've been comfortable with for quite a while. Never really had the finances to have multiple kits or anything like that, but I thoroughly like it, and it does what I need it to do. I also use the Yamaha EAD 10 mic module set is what I record with. So it has the like condenser mic that's on the drum set, on the bass drum in the front, that takes the kick, uses like a punch for the kick, and then it has the condenser mics that take out, record the overheads and everything. And that's the only microphone that I use to record. It's been my go-to, or it's been my big thing since I got it. I one time I had the full-on overhead compressor mics and everything, or condenser mics and stuff, along with all the heads, all the drums having their own single mics and all that kind of stuff. And it just felt like overkill, and I never could really tune it in. I'm not super great at the technical tune-ins of the micing. So it was just easier for me to get that and kind of just let it handle it all for me personally. But anyways, but yeah, that's the kit. That's what I use. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for joining me here. I don't know what else I could really do here in the welcome. So I hope that gives you more information about me, about what I use, about my kit, about the purpose here on the channel, and a little bit, like I said, just reintroducing myself as who I am, what I'm about, and what I, have going forward for y'all. And so thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, peace. And I'm out. Later.